All right, so today we're going to talk about evictions that are not on your credit report, how to dispute, what to say, the whole process. Is it even possible to get an eviction removed? Are there any ways around evictions and getting an apartment or renting or whatever the case may be? So let's get into that in this video.
And another woman that can take your spotlight. If I wrote you a symphony, just to say how much you mean to me, what would you do? If I told you you were beautiful, would you do?
The first step is to find out where your eviction is reporting. That's going to be public records, like court records, or it's going to be through a third-party tenant screening service. Now, if you have the time to request, review, and dispute, I want you to do this. CoreLogic Rental Property Solutions, LexisNexis, Screening Reports, TransUnion Smart Move, Experian Rent Bureau. I'm going to have the links for each one of those third-party credit reporting agencies or consumer, whatever. They're a third-party company that has your rental history. So I'm going to have the links below for each one of those companies, and I want you to go and request your consumer file with each one of those companies to find out which one of them, if any, are reporting your eviction, and start there. And also to go and look up on your court records. I'm pretty sure you can do this online, or you can go to your local courthouse to see if you have any evictions on your records, if you don't already know that for a fact. So if you're short on time and you already know the apartment complex that you are interested in moving to, what I want you to do is ask what tenant screening service do they use. Check that same third-party service, request a copy of your report from them, and see if you even have an eviction reporting with that company to see what your record looks like. Okay, so we're just going to pretend that while I was giving this advice, you were actually going to get your reports that I told you to get in the first step. And now it's time to review them. So now in this reviewing stage, you want to see which one of those companies, if any, are reporting your eviction. Okay. So number one, if your eviction is reporting on public records, if you were wrongfully evicted, now laws vary by state. That's not my lane. So go ask somebody else. Okay. Ask somebody else as far as the what's right, what's wrong, what's this, what's that, because I don't know. I'm going to just be real. I don't know. But in the event that you are wrongfully evicted, you would need to seek out some legal counsel because you would need to get your eviction expunged. That is the only way to get an eviction removed from your public record. That is the only way to get your eviction removed from your public records in the event that you were wrongfully evicted or something was wrong. This is not your eviction. There was a misunderstanding. It should have never gotten to this place. You actually did pay. Something happened, and there was some errors made, or things were just not done correctly according to your state laws, or you were just wrongfully evicted. You would need to go through a process called, getting your eviction expunged. And essentially you would have to go to court and all of that type of thing. So you would need to seek some legal counsel. And like I said, that's not my lane, my forte. And I'm not going to go Googling up some stuff, because you can do that. Because even if I did do the Googleable information, I wouldn't feel comfortable coming back explaining it, because I would just be repeating what I read, and you can do the same thing. You know what I mean? So you might want to look into that if you were wrongfully evicted, or you were not supposed to be evicted, or this isn't your eviction. This is wrong from the top to the bottom, from the rooty to the tootie. This is wrong. You might want to seek some legal counsel and look into getting your eviction expunged. Okay, so number two, you want to ask to have the eviction removed from the tenant screening reports. So you can do this in a couple of ways. Negotiating a payment arrangement. So basically you would send a pay for deletion letter or a goodwill letter if you've already paid to the landlord, and try to work out some type of agreement with them so they will remove the eviction from this tenant screening service, because it's preventing you from getting an apartment or getting a new home. You're not the same person you were back then. You're in a better situation financially. Like, you've learned from your mistakes. etc. But basically what you want to do in this instance is to negotiate a settlement or send a letter offering for, for a goodwill adjustment to get this removed from from this particular tenant screening service. And make sure you get things in writing before you go sending money. Get it in ink, black and white on paper. You need to be able to see and prove that they did agree to remove it from this third party company. Now, the eviction may not show on your credit report, but it's a possibility that the apartment complex sold the debt to a collection agency, and the collection is reporting on your credit report. So what you want to do is to send them a debt validation. I mean, treat it like you would any other collection. Send them a debt validation letter, certified. So for a company who's, a good record keeper, they would typically have your contract or your signed lease. They will have the statement from the apartment complex showing the amount that you owe. And then they will show some other information that proves that they own the debt, whether that's a court order document or something of that, something in that caliber. They will have that type of information and provide it to you. Now, in the event that they provide that type of information to you, then you want to send a pay for deletion letter. I also have this information on my website under the collection removal letters that you can get, so you don't have to screenshot this and try to type it up. Just go get the letters from my website. But that's what you would do in the event that the collection is reporting on your credit reports. It's not on a tenant screening service, or it is on a tenant screening service and the collection is also reporting. Now, in the event that they cannot validate the debt, what I have my customers, clients, etc. do is to send what's called a failure to validate letter. You would send this letter right here to the credit bureaus, to the collection agency themselves, to let them know that you didn't validate the debt, you didn't provide any information that validates this debt. Again, I'm going to ask you to send me something that validates this debt, and if you can't, you need to remove it. You need to remove this from our credit report immediately. And then after this, they proceed to send you just something that just says you owe $100. Nothing else. It's just like a screenshot or something that they created. Just anything that does not prove that this debt is yours. Then you want to go and notify the credit bureaus that this company has not validated this debt and that they're continuously reporting the debt. And then you want to seek removal and ask them to remove this account from your credit report. So essentially, there's no tricks, tips, things to get an eviction removed, because either you get it removed from your public records by getting an eviction expunged, you show up in court to prevent it from ever even getting on your public records, work out some type of agreement with them to stop it in its tracks. Most people don't do that or are not in a financial position to do so. Otherwise, you wouldn't be getting evicted. Or if you were wrongfully evicted, you need to seek out some type of legal counsel. In the event that, the apartment complex is only going to be looking at a specific tenant screening service, then you need to just figure out, with that tenant screening service, what your report looks like with them, if the eviction is even reporting, and just go from there. So with evictions, it can be time consuming. It can be just as complicated as disputing any public record, like bankruptcies and things like that. It's very hard to get something that's accurately reporting removed from your credit report. It is. If you don't jump on things before it gets to it's already reporting stage, it's kind of hard to get it off, especially if it's real, if it's legit, if it's yours, if it's accurately reporting, if it's it's not violating any FDCPA laws, it's not violating any FCRA laws or etc. It's not violating any laws. It's hard to get accurate information removed from your credit report if the creditor, if the landlord, if whoever is reporting this information isn't willing to remove it. You feel me? We can't just dispute accurate information and it go away. That ain't how it works. 9 times out of 10, you dispute something accurate, it's going to come back verified. And so don't act shocked if it does, because most of the time, that's just what's going to happen with information that's already made it to your credit report. Because typically, in this sense, most collection agencies, all collection agencies are supposed to notify you before they even put the debt on your credit. So you're given 30 days to review, look, dispute, and all this type of stuff, work out payment arrangements before it even gets to your credit report. But once it gets to the point where it's on your credit report, then it's Now you got to prove why it shouldn't be, or now you have to reach some type of agreement with them to get it deleted, whether that's through payment or it's because they can't validate the debt, you know, and it just varies, you know, with each collection agency. So basically, the faster you act, the faster you can get better results. You wait till something's reporting, it's going to be harder to get it removed. Not impossible, just hard. But if it's accurate, it's going to be really hard. You're going to get really frustrated. So just know that going into it, that nothing is going to be easy about getting an eviction removed. In my situation, I think I explained it in my How to Rent an Apartment with Bad Credit video last year or the year before that. In my particular situation, I did send a debt validation letter. They weren't able to validate, you know, and it was removed, you know, and then you need to go and pay so you can be done with it. And so it don't come back, get sold again, and that cycle repeats. So, but yeah, it's just, this is a very tedious process. So just kind of know that going into it that it's not going to be easy. Okay, it's not like, okay, I do this, I do that, I freeze this, I freeze that. Now you can freeze all the sites that I told you to, but that doesn't mean that it'll stop them from being able to access your public records, you know, if they go that route. So just kind of keep that in mind before you know, while you're going through this process, so you kind of know what to expect. But if you have any questions, leave a comment below. It really wasn't too much to say, honestly, because I mean, it's just like a this or a that, or do this or a that type of thing, you know, just basically suggestions. But yeah, try those out. Let me know. But yeah, if you have questions, drop a comment below. Peace.
Because I can see us holding hands, walking on the beach, our toes in the sand. I can see us on the countryside, sitting on the grasslands.